Hi, Michaela. Hey,
Hey,
girl. How are you?
I'm groovy. How are you?
I'm good. I like your blazer.
Thank you. Did
Look
a
like you're
link
ready for
video.
business.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I did a LinkedIn video today, so I had to get snazzy.
Oh, nice. That's so cool. I'm gonna have to get a LinkedIn class with you.
Yes.
Seriously. Oh, give me 1 second. I'm just getting everything up live.
Yeah.
Waiting to see if anybody else hops on. I know there's a couple girls that said they would join
I'm sure you're gonna have like a whole tribe in here soon.
us. We'll see. I went silent there, and then I courageously came back on. Was like, oh, I feel inspired to yay! Here's another tribe member. Lexi, welcome to the call today. Hi. Okay. Thinking about doing something. Let me make sure it's on Facebook. Oh, there we go. Group. Okay. And then let's see. I need to get a new stand for my phone and all the things. Okay. Awesome. I think it's going live. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Awesome. Lexi, how's your day been?
It's been really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. How
Great.
about yours?
Pretty good. And it's a Sunday. It's like I was feeling kind of like zonky, but
Yeah.
but now I'm feeling better. I just got to work. I just pushed through it. Pushed through the
Yeah.
fog. But it's been raining here. Has it been raining in Texas? It's been raining in
No,
Georgia.
it's actually record temperatures. It's like 98 degrees today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in October.
Wow. That's
So we were
crazy.
gonna go for a walk, but it was like 96 degrees like I think it was like an hour ago. So we're gonna go after your event.
Okay, cool. So we'll try to keep this short and
No,
sweet.
you're fine. I'm excited. I love the universal laws, and I just can't wait to. I consume like everything you do. I'm always on. Like I may not answer your text immediately, but you're doing something, I'm there. Just love you.
I love you too. Thank you. So, yes, awesome. Yeah, I got inspired to do this Universal Law series. Really, it was just divine download. I remember when I first started my journey, I was like, 2 years ago, more or less, when I decided that I wanted to be a coach. And I remember thinking, like, oh, I'm going to teach on the chakras and the universal laws. And it's just so cool because, like, here I am doing these shares. And I never imagined that it would be in this way. I've just allowed myself to be so guided, but it's like so cool because I'm excited to talk about it. The universal laws is something that I don't know if you guys saw my story, but I was divinely guided to learn the laws. I had been like stalked by an angel number for 6 years of my life. 729 was everywhere. That's like an uncommon number, right? And then all of a sudden I got the download to, well, somebody told me, oh, that's an angel number. I had no idea what that was. And then I looked into what the meaning of the number was, and it was a message saying, go study the universal laws. You have a journey, it's basically like a light worker journey ahead of you. And then that was like Pandora's box. So I began to learn the universal laws mostly because of like the law of attraction. I think that's the main one that a lot of people focus on. But I then learned that there was 12 of them and the depth of the laws. And so I decided to do this series, just kind of like inspired, like I said, to talk about these laws. And apparently, well, not apparently, I'm learning as I go, as I'm like diving into this even more. It's just kind of unveiling even more layers to it. But the one that we're going to cover today is the law of oneness. So, Lexi, you know the laws. Michaela, do you know about the laws?
I don't, but I am so pumped to learn.
Okay, cool, cool, awesome. Well, that's awesome that like this is relatively new too. So yes, the universal laws were first, I guess, philosophies discussed 5,000 years ago in Hermetic philosophy. And so, like the chakra systems, it's a very ancient, well, they're laws. So it's almost like principles that were then shared. And when you learn about them, what they help you do is kind of apply these different principles to your life in different depths, and to understand your connection to the world a little bit better, and to also realize when you are kind of going against the current of something, how you can pivot and then get into flow with the law. And so this first law that we're going to talk about is the very, very first law, and really the only law, the principal law. The rest of the laws that come from this are to give more depth and explain the different, I guess you could say, manifestations of the law as we experience them here on the earth. But basically, the law of oneness, what it means is that energy is. That's it. Energy is. And the depth to this is energy as in I am energy, you are energy, the space between us is energy, everything around us is energy. Energy is. And it cannot be destroyed, it cannot be created, it can only be transformed, right? And it only exists, it just is. And so it kind of takes a little while for you to wrap your head around that. It's a kind of a big, I don't know, concept wrapped up into that simple expression, energy is. But the way that I see it is that we all come from the same fabric. We all come from the same divine source. And so if we're all made of the same stuff, and this energy exists within everything, right? Then it flows through us equally. There is no actual separation between you and I, or any real room for judgment in that case. Any room for me to say that you are better than I am, or I am better than you, or whatever it is, because it all just is. And it's not the same as saying like, I guess we all come from the same fabric, but it's not to say that we can't be unique, right? So energy is doesn't mean energy is, or that we're all the same, rather that we are just all from the same fabric. And therefore it's like this, what I always like to refer to as the ever flowing abundance and love that is available to us, right? And so it's always present. And when I really began to interpret this law and apply it for myself, I found healing in the areas where I would judge either myself or judge others. And so it allows you to kind of pivot and be more expansive in the way that you witness somebody else in your reality, right? I know that before I understood this law of oneness, that we are all connected, that everything I do influences everything around me, it influences you. And it's a reflection. We're literally mirrors of one another. And so things like silly things like standing in the grocery store and like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm like super egotistical for this and I'm going to admit to this doing this, but having that moment where I'm like on my healing journey and I'm like eating healthy and doing all the right things, and then I have like the person that's standing before me in the grocery store and they've got I don't know, junk food in their cart, and then I that split second moment where I think to myself, oh, they're doing the wrong thing. Oh, they don't love themselves. They don't take care of themselves. Ooh, look at me. Like, it's kind of like this split second energy in our bodies that like allows us to create this separation, this fragmentation. And so the thing about it is that that's all that really is a judgment or reflection within us. And again, the distortion that is created. And so when we allow room for there to be anything other than energy is, we create that, like I said, that field of judgment. And it allows room for us to be like that towards others, but then to be like that towards ourselves more than anything. Because if you dare think that somebody else is, less than you, then sure enough, you can look in the mirror and find reasons to think less than of yourself. So we all come from the same fabric. And when I began to heal myself, heal the energy within me, these distortions that I was experiencing, not to say that my humanness doesn't get in the way sometimes, because it does, but I think the whole key is for us to create a self-awareness around this law that everything is. And I think it kind of disconnected there for a second. Am I back? Okay, cool. Lets me know. So in addition to that, I feel like also just big time healing happened within myself. Like I stopped judging myself so harshly, and just being so critical, because I realized that I was just that within myself was just creating a distortion and a separation from the whole. And so the whole, I like to think of it as this abundance life force energy that's always, 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 always flowing through us. And it's ultimately always supporting us, right? I've talked about this several times, but it's like the one substance that carries us. And so when we allow ourselves to surrender to that feeling and to trust that, then it's all about like really having unconditional love for our neighbor. And right now, in this moment when all this crazy election stuff is happening, everybody has an opinion, everybody's pulling in their direction. It's really heavy times where we see the separation. It is so black and white and evident. But there is no resolution in that, because energy is. We all have to just come back to that core. And so it is through the unlimited love and opening our hearts and expanding within that we can then begin to have compassion for ourselves, for the other. And it's like you then get back into alignment with that abundant flow, right? When you're not in that, you're ultimately going to feel bad. Like, I don't care what you think, like whether or not you think that you're trying to make somebody feel better by telling them, oh, you should be doing things that way or this way, or, judging somebody on how they should be doing things. At the end of the day, you walk away from that and you're going to feel like crap, if you're not, being from the heart, and in integrity with this law, with this principle. So yeah, that's pretty much what to me, that's how I've integrated it. So for me, I think the key is, like I said, awareness. Having awareness, catch yourself when you're having these judgmental thoughts. And if you're not really a judgmental person, like towards other people, because some people just aren't, then catch it when you're being like that to yourself, when you're saying, oh, I just haven't done enough today, or I just haven't done this today, or I haven't done that. Like that is all, again, more of the fragmentation that's happening within your reality that can then just be transmuted. So the self-awareness followed by basically a reframe, right? The minute now that I catch myself trying to say some shit about somebody else's anything or about myself, I take a second to swallow my words, right? Take them back from where, sometimes you can't unsay the things that you say, but to take a second to pause, to breathe, and then to say, actually, no, I come from this flow of infinite love and abundance, and everything is always unfolding in my favor. And these people are just as worthy of that love as I am. And how can I be more that, right? And then when you ask that question, when you shift into that, when you just take a second after you have that thought to reframe yourself and then to ask, to be in that compassion, if you just take a moment to feel that, something else that's beautiful and in so much more integrity with you is going to be born from that moment. And then that's where the real expansion happens. That's where you get into that real yummy magnificence of abundance and of magnetization, right? Because energy already is, we're in this current of flow. And so when we get into that through our mind, through our feelings, through our body, then we're in it. We're in the game with God, manifesting, right? With intention. And it's going to flow so much more. So, that was a mouthful. I feel like I just talked for like 10 minutes nonstop. How do you guys feel about that? Have you experienced this? Anything that came up as I was speaking?
So there's definitely a lot of the self-judgment, because I think when I was younger, and I mean like my teenage years, I was very toxic, but it was like you know how the masculine can come out when you think you're being feminine, like when you try to protect your friends, but that's actually you being masculine, even though I'm trying to like mother bear them. And it was so toxic of me to always be like, well, you shouldn't be doing that. That's not good for you. Do this instead. And it was actually really judgy, even though I thought, oh, but I love you and I'm doing this because I love you.
Mm.
And so I worked on that. And then it was like I flipped it. And like in my early 20s, I put that towards me, like, oh, you're not doing this, or like, you're never skinny enough, right? Like, or if it was like, okay, we're skinny, but now your face looks, it was like there was always something out of alignment. And
Mm.
so that really spoke to me that the judging can go either way. And that
Mm-hmm.
it's only when you start to find peace that I think things do start aligning. And then people are like more magnetically drawn to you. Like confidence is something that's attractive universally. And I think it's because we all a little bit inside want to feel a little bit better about ourselves,
Right.
you know? So that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what that was saying to me, and that it's kind of like the law of attraction in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's what it meant to me, but like I really resonated with the self-judgment part.
I love that. I love that. And it's so true. God, you said something there. When it comes down to, yeah, seeing the manifestation on both sides, like you said, it could show up either way. Oh, what really kind of stood out to me too was that just when you let it go, like just when you just step
Mhm.
back, like it's none of your business, right? Like none of that, it's none of your business to judge yourself against yourself. Like when everything's always already flowing to you, it, even being critical of yourself to say, oh my God, I could have done things better. Da, 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 da. Like there's always, what's the saying in NLP? There's never failure, always feedback, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So life will continuously give you feedback, and you should just celebrate that feedback rather than being like, oh, I can't believe I just did this, and then being in that spiral for a day, 2 days, however long you're in it, right? So getting the ick off and letting it go so that then you can actually be back in your power and in that feeling good energy. And that usually is like, to me, it's kind of funny. Like it's just, and I know my mind and my body, when I go through that, it's kind of like a, what are you talking about? Like, you're crazy. Like my inner voice is like, stop it. And then relax, girl. Let it go. You know, I don't know how your inner voice talks to you, but mine's kind of like my mother.
No, so I thought of this was like such a prevalent my whole life. It is what it is used to bother the crap out of me, but the older I get, the more I'm like, no, it is what it is.
That's funny. That's so true. I have Monica over here saying me this morning. Yes. How about you, Lexi? Do
Yeah.
any?
So, well, when you said about the grocery store, I feel like I do that because I actually said something recently. Um, I said, I'm not a very judgmental person. I try to understand people. And then so when you said that, I was just like, I'm not judgmental. I don't judge. Like, and then you said, well, what about when you're at the grocery store and you're on this health journey? Like, I don't eat meat. And so when I see people with meat, I'm just like, hmm. It's just little things. And right now I'm not drinking alcohol, and I'm really on a path of learning like what alcohol doesn't do for me. Like, just it's not good. And so when people are drinking, I'm just like, if only you knew, like, kind of thing. So I'm like, yeah, I do judge, holy shit. And then also I was like, well, okay, I try my hardest with other people. And then you said yourself. I'm like, yeah, oh, yeah, I do judge myself really badly. And so giving myself that grace, and so yeah, it was just a lot of little aha moments.
Good. Yeah, for sure. I hear that though, because yeah, and criticizing the other person, or it just shows up. It just does. And it doesn't feel good. It never really,
No.
never really serves anybody ultimately, when we do that. So how can we learn to let it go and just be? Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
practice. I feel like it's definitely a day-to-day, just allowing yourself to kind of go through life and then catch yourself, just being really vigilant about it, in a way. And the thing about it is that like it could always be, or what is the saying? The shoe could always be on the other foot, right? So that could always end up happening to you. I feel like you never freaking know like what people are going through, what their journey has been, or their experience. And like one
Yep.
person's fail may be your victory, but the next day it could be your fail. And then, there's nothing worse than having that feeling. And that's the thing, about it. Like even when the president got sick, like I'm not a Trump supporter, but there are so many people that were just like so happy about the fact that he got sick. And it's like, that is where that distortion is so prevalent, evident, because you can just sense that people are just so lost, and they've become so disconnected from their humanness, from their divinity, the fact that we're in flow with all of this, that they feel like it's okay to say, well, you deserve that, and that's your karma. You don't know that, you don't really know the ultimate truth. You only know what you've been fed. So are you allowing yourself to be fed from this place of separation and distortion is okay? Or are you allowing yourself to be nourished within your inner being, within your light, within what you know to be the ultimate truth, which is, well, I don't know what the hell their life is about, and all I can have is compassion. I know it feels good to me, right? And I mean, you can live all day long like being like, oh, well, he's Satan incarnate. Sure, but is that actually serving you? Like you're over here cursing some person that you don't even know, having all that energy in your awareness. You know what I'm saying? And it's powerful. It's real, guys. Like it's really creating our world, and it's a sad thing to witness. So we really have to do our job here as people who know the truth, who understand the law of oneness, who begin to integrate these things, because it's not part of our everyday concept that we talk about this, but it's so valuable, that we learn to accept and embrace, because we just don't know. I think to myself, with that example particularly, it's been really popping up for me, because I think, God, I know some people that have like judged, for example, and said, oh, well, he deserved it. But then I think those people who then, for example, say that somebody else got the Rona and they were good people, or deemed good people, or people believe that they were good people. So then they say, oh my God, I'm so sorry you got sick, right? So then the only difference being that that person had people who loved them, and the other person had people who judged them, right? And it's kind of like they say in the Bible, like, what is that? I mean, I'm terrible at quoting the Bible, I'm so sorry, but like the one is like, whoever is free of their sins cast the first stone. It's the same principle, right? Like nobody can cast the stone. Really, at the end of the day, everybody just needs to shut up and mind their business and love on themselves and love on your neighbor. And that will create more harmony, I believe, and more opportunities to do something right, something better. So yay. Okay, cool. Well, I have you two here. I have 3 more people on here. Thank you guys for coming online with me and watching this. This is going to be so good. So now that we've kind of talked about that, let's get into the activation. Let's do some healing. Let's do some meditation and some Reiki around what we're calling in. And I really believe in the power of this, of talking about it, of understanding it in like a logical sense, but then also integrating it with the body, right? That's what we do when we do these meditations. We shift our energy so that the subconscious can open up and actually receive that. So let's go ahead and tune in then. I'm going to ask everybody who's watching to close your eyes and take a deep breath in, inhaling through the nose, holding at the top, and exhaling. Once again, just allowing yourself to get situated in the place where you're at. Breathing in, allowing the breath to relax the body, to open the vessel, and release. And once again, deep breath in. And just surrender on the exhale even more now. Allowing the body to just fully relax, activating the golden ray of energy, of light, life force that is coming in from the sky into your crown, And as this golden ray of light penetrates your body, allow it to travel down past your third eye, into your throat, relaxing your neck, relaxing your shoulders. Allowing this golden light to penetrate your heart now. Taking another deep breath in. And exhaling, surrendering even deeper to this activation. And just allow yourself to feel that golden ray of energy, the space around you, and the energy within your body. And noticing how we truly do become one with the energy all around us. As we open ourselves up to this activation now, we call upon all beings of highest truth and love to be witness now, to move through us the energy that is meant to serve us, to serve the highest good for us and those around us, those in our lives. And so with this intention, with this activation, we intend to clear all fragmentations of judgment of ourselves, and judgment of others. Allow this to shift out of our body now in order to open ourselves to receive and to be unconditional love. And so if you're ready to receive this now, I want you to say yes. I'm going to give you the knowing, the code, and the download of what it is to be oneness, what it is to be connected to the flow and frequency of the whole that brings forth all life that is on this planet and beyond. Activating within us the discernment of knowing the difference between sameness and uniqueness. Allowing ourselves to understand at a cellular level what it means to be the unique expression of the oneness energy. If you are ready to receive this code now, say yes to yourself. Now take a deep breath in, opening up your vessel even more now, expanding through the heart, allowing a ray of light to come down from the heavens and connect now into the heart space. And as it does, fully witnessing your unique genius, your divine expression of self, allowing yourself to really feel into your vibrational current as it connects to the field of energy all around you. And as you connect to the energy, witnessing the integration and the feeling grow within you of unconditional love, of unconditional acceptance of yourself and of your unique expression as the oneness energy. Awakening within you, within your mind, within your beautiful mind, the innate genius that flows through you, within your genius brain and all of the different ways that it can manifest and create in the world. Igniting now your power and witnessing how through harnessing and accepting and embracing yourself fully, that genius spreads out into every single cell of your body. And just allow yourself to feel that now. Feel into that activation as it's been declared. Bring in all of that energy now into your third eye awareness. This deep inner wisdom that flows through you from all the way back into the beginning of time. Everything that you could possibly want and need and desire, everything that is meant to manifest, already is available to you right now, and so it is. Just breathe into that now. And I'm going to call upon my Reiki healers to activate the Reiki energy now, calling forth the symbols. Calling upon the Ascended Masters to be with us. And calling upon the Shokurei power symbol to expand the energy within the field now. I'm going to invite anybody who wishes to receive Reiki to imagine yourself standing in the middle of a circle. And those of you that wish to give Reiki, stand beside me on the outside and begin to beam the energy to our sisters, remembering that as we heal others, we heal ourselves, for we are a mirror reflection. We are the current of oneness. And as we beam the energy of Reiki, activate the words within your field, emotional awarenesses of the elevated level by declaring, I love you. I accept you. I honor you. I know you. I am you. I hold you. I thank you. Witnessing the light amplify now within the bodies of the women that you are holding in this container And as this happens, witnessing the light within you, within your heart, grow 10 times greater. Allowing yourself to be in this flow now, just for the next few moments, really enjoying the presence of this energy. Realizing that within this moment, there is no separation, and how wonderful it feels to be truly loved unconditionally by your creator. This is the truth, the only truth. I'm feeling called to bring forth the bodies and the souls of any people who we have held anger, resentment, hate, judgment towards within our past life timelines, within this life timelines, bringing them forth on the quantum level and magnetizing towards them, sending them this vibrational energy of unconditional love and acceptance now. Allowing this to now neutralize the timeline and bring it back, lifting it up into the vibrational frequency of oneness. Just allowing ourselves to bask within the gratitude that we feel for this moment and this opportunity to rectify all of those moments in which we may have felt fragmentations of judgment towards these people. Realizing that now we can just hold gratitude in our hearts for the role that they played in our lives, because they too allowed us to be in this moment to get to the place where we are right now, to this powerful self-awareness. As we continue to beam the Reiki energy now, reconnecting to the whole, just allowing ourselves to be. And taking a deep breath in. And feeling even more so that sense of just love and peace. Silent peace within us. Just allowing ourselves now to seal the practice, again with gratitude, so much gratitude, allowing our guides to return to the light, knowing that it's always with us, always within us, we're always connected. And just allow the Reiki practitioners to come back in, unify the people in the center of the circle to unify alongside your sisters. Visualize yourself holding hands, connecting like a chain, like a DNA strand, connecting to all that is. Feeling the powerful bond of this strand that is unbreakable. And sealing this now into our bodies, this new knowing, this new awareness, accepting all the codes that have been activated now. And take a deep breath in and release. Allow yourself to come back into the heart, into the body slowly. Whew. And just come back when you're ready. All right, girls, we are back. We are back. I got some hearts over here. Hope everybody that's watching me over here enjoyed it. And how are you feeling, girls? Good?
Very peaceful.
Good. It's always nice. Yeah, that was definitely the feeling that I got. There was a moment there where it felt very like, for me, I felt like the energy just kind of like, but it was always just very much there, you know. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. And I'm like sweating like crazy. It always happens.
And whenever I listen to yours, like I could be wide awake, but for some reason I go into such a state. It's like almost that state, you know, when you're not supposed to be sleeping, so you kind of jerk and you're like, whoa. So every time I listen to Bianca, that always happens. I'm always like, oh, everything's good. And then I go somewhere and I'm like, whoa.
Love that. Yeah.
I definitely felt like that wave of energy. It's every time you invite like the masters to release the energy, it's like everything intensifies. Like nothing's going on, and then but it's intense. I don't know how to explain. It's like the air vibrates, and then like when I start breathing in, it starts feeling cold, and I got like full body chill bumps. And like every time in my mind, I'm like, this is so crazy.
Yeah, it's certainly a feeling. It's wonderful. I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And Pansy, I'm so glad you got on the call. You made it. Yes, girl, right on time. We have here comments that Monica feels at peace. Yes, a wavy feeling. It is. It's very wavy. It's like a vibration that lifts up. I like did an activation right before this that was actually for the same intention for connecting to oneness, and I was like I passed out. Like I was just so at peace with everything. It was wonderful. Anyways, well, I'm just so happy you girls made it, and I hope that you carry this thought with you throughout the week as you are, you know, experiencing your day to day. When you get that judgy Nancy crawl up on you, just kind of, hey, girl. Take a
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. That's a good one, Lexi. Judge Judy up in here all day. No, there's no need. There's no need. So where can we hold more love for her? Love her too, because there's a reason she's coming up, right? So yeah, that's really good. And that's pretty much all I have for you girls. A reminder that October 22nd, Lexi already was my student. October 22nd, I have my Reiki level 1. So if you have friends that want to be Reiki practitioners, they've been curious, let me know. And I'm so excited. We already have 5 girls in that container, and I'm like, it's gonna be so good. And that's pretty much all I have for you girls today. Next week we'll work on the next law. Honestly, I'm like, what is the next one? I'm gonna do them in order, and I haven't even checked what the next one is. I'm so divine feminine right now. But I will. I'm gonna create more of a roster, because like I said, I was like, do the 12 laws, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it, you know. So hopefully I'll be building up on each one of them, and that's the vision, so you guys can kind of incorporate all of these and be just in a different awareness by the time it's all over. So
I wanted to say earlier, I truly had no idea. I mean, that's which is big for me. I used to be such a control freak. I'm like recovering from that. But I've always like just trusted your space, Bianca. From like the first session, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I am here for it. And now today you said, like, when you're talking about Judgy McJudgerson, it didn't even hit me until like halfway through, you know, the trance. My post today the video I was doing is on giving yourself grace. It's like to release yourself from judgment. And I'm like, what are the odds?
That's perfect. I love that. So see, so this is the spiritual side then, the law of oneness. Like that's the root of where that comes from. That's so cool. Super full circle moment. I love that. I think that that's just a testimony to you just being in your alignment too. Yeah, for sure, girl, because I know you're doing all kinds of amazing things right now, and your cat's so cute. It's a big cat. I love that. Thank you for sharing that for sure. Anyways, well, thank you all. I love you. I will let you guys go. Hope you have a
Thank you
beautiful
for
night.
your time and your energy. Love you.
Of course. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.